Good evening and welcome to KBVR TV's Spotlight. Each month, Spotlight dives deep to investigate a single topic relevant to the Oregon State University community. I'm Caleb Chandler and I will be guiding you through the show. Tonight, we will be showcasing local people and organizations which work to empower women on campus. We will be speaking to local researchers involved in gender diversity, discuss women in policy and women in science, as well as hear a performance from OSU's all-woman a cappella group, Divine. To start out the night, we will be discussing the benefits and some potential drawbacks of women's networks. I'm joined here today with Pipit Larsati. Pipit is a third-year PhD student in the Wood Science and Engineering Department through the College of Forestry here at OSU. She is researching gender diversity in the forest sector, as well as the creator of the hashtag Women in Wood Science, which serves as a network for women who have associated themselves with wood science. Hi, Pipit. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. So to start, what have been some big findings from your research?
Thank you, Caleb. So in the first stage of research, we interview female executives of global forest sector companies about gender aspects in the North American and Nordic industry. So almost all our respondents agree that there are positive changes in the industry towards more diverse and inclusive workplaces. However, these changes are slow, maybe due to women's restricted access to networks in the forest sector. As what one of our respondents described, the females cannot be as female as they want to be, and if they want to get along with the traditional forestry guys, they almost need to grow a mustache. This means that there is still a high wall between men and women in certain types of workplaces.
Interesting. So can you tell us a little bit more about the gender effect in the workplace?
Yes, of course. Let me give you some facts. So more than a decade, World Economic Forum released the Global Gender Gap Index of each country, measuring the state of gender equality in 4 key areas: so health, education, economy, and politics. As you can see, if you are women, you will prefer to live in Nordic countries. However, surprisingly, the mustache quote that I showed you before was coming from a respondent in one of Nordic countries. So the fact is, although women make up nearly half of the labor force in North America and Nordic countries, they only hold 37 to 39% of management positions. Furthermore, despite more women hold college degrees and work full-time, women's salaries are 15 to 20% lower than men. Women also face bias regarding their expected social roles, such as the motherhood mandate of childbearing and child rearing. So to be succeed in the workplace, women need to have a good network.
Okay, so is that including women's network?
Exactly.
Okay, so why do we need a women's network?
Well, there is a lot of reasons, but to be short, because through women's network, women can get gender-specific private information and social support. This means insight into questions such as, does this company treat women well? Are women leaders respected? Is the company looking to increase its gender diversity? So the answer to this question will help women to seek the jobs and apply to companies that better fit them and tailor their interviews to the work or company culture and negotiate better. So there are women networks that have been formed. In OSU, we have women in policy, women in leadership, women in science, including specific science such as women in marine science and women in wood science. In the North American forest sector, we have Oregon women in timber, Canadian women in timber, women in wood, and women owning woodlands. However, while women's networks are beneficial, there are some of things that women need to be aware. First, queen bee phenomenon.
So is that like the bees that produce honey?
Well, The inspiration may be coming from those honey producers. So queen bees are senior women or women leaders who are, instead of promoting women's development and mentoring young women, they distance themselves from other women and give preferential treatment to men to be successful in a male-dominated work setting. Second thing that women should be aware is a separate women organization may challenge societal norm and can define women as the outsiders in a male-dominated industry, since it may be seen to only represent women's interests.
So what is the bottom line of your research regarding Women's Network?
The bottom line is to be more successful in the workplace, especially in a male-dominated sector. Women have to network smarter and differently than men. Women also need to have good boss, good leaders, and good mentor. So this may sound exhausting, but trust me, it's worth it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming onto the show and explaining about your research to us, Pipit.
Thank you for inviting me.
Next, let's take a look at campus organizations which work to empower women. We sat down with Eva Sokolavaska with OSU's Women in Policy to discuss the organization's role on campus. Let's take a look.